So now that we've kind of done the manual way and explained it the manual way, let's go ahead and do it the faster way. So what I'm going to do is just assign a bunch of materials to this object. I'm going to make some of my own, I'm going to use some of their materials, and then we're going to hop into smart materials. So we've got light metal here. I'm going to click this little paintbrush here, and let's go ahead and add some rubber. So what I'm going to do is under my materials tab here, I'm going to type in rubber, and there's a uniform rubber. Perfect. I'm going to click it. There's uniform rubber. It looks great. I'm going to right click this, and instead of adding a mask and then adding a color selection, I'm going to go down 4 down and choose add mask with color selection. So in one swoop it does all that work for us. I have color selection already selected. I can go here to pick color, choose, pick my gray area, and all of that stuff is rubber. So let's go ahead and name this one rubber, and let's go ahead and make our own. So I'm going to click this the fill layer, and I'm going to name this face plastic. And with face plastic selected, again, because I have this selected, it's not a mask or anything, it's just the actual channels that make up your material. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change this to like maybe a grayish. Let's make it kind of shiny. And because it's over the entire object, you're going to see the entire material. Now, again, because we made our own, you're going to see if I zoom in, I've got height information shining through. Don't want that. So I'm going to go over here to my height, change it from linear dodge to replace, and now all of my plastic, anywhere my plastic is going to mask that underlying height out. So let's go back to my base color here. And so it's kind of a shiny plastic, and it's not metallic at all. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and right click this, add mask with color selection, and I'm going to pick right here. So let's go ahead. I want to make another plastic. So instead of making another fill layer, what I can do is just right click and choose duplicate layer. And I'm going to call this iPlastic. Sorry, I got my keyboard pushed way to the side. It's kind of hard to type. So with iPlastic, what I have is I have my material that's made up of iPlastic, and it's assigned to everywhere I have my face. I don't want that. So I'm going to go to color selection. I'm going to kill that selection. Go to pick color. I'm going to pick my eyeballs. And because I've already gone through and done the whole height replace thing, I don't have to do that again because I duplicated that. And one thing I do want to change is my base color. So I went ahead and clicked on the material properties. I'm going to make that red eyes. And let's go ahead and make them really shiny and not metallic. So here's my eyeballs. I think that's about all we really need to put on this guy just for demonstration purposes. But one thing I do want to talk about is adding another channel, in this case emissive. So when I hit, let's go ahead and turn on shadows here. And I shift right click around. When I go into the shadow area, you're going to see my eyeballs are just kind of dull. You know, they don't really light up. I want to go ahead and have eyeballs that light up. So what I need to do is add another channel that will allow my shader to know that wherever I have this particular color and selection, I want that to show up glowy in my material. So in Substance Designer, what that would be is if I right click this and view in 3D view, you're going to see there's a space for emissive. So you would have to basically plug in where you want your emissive to be. In Substance Painter, what you need to do is go to Channels here and hit plus, and go ahead and choose emissive. And what that's going to do, if I scroll down, you're going to see I have base color, height, roughness, metallic, and at the very bottom here is emissive. So we just added a channel to our project here. Another thing you're going to notice is if I go over here to my material settings, so remember this is a mask, this is a material, and the material is made up of course, color, height, roughness, and metallicity. We now have another channel. It's not enabled. It's actually not enabled by default. If you click it, that will give you access to an emissive channel, or emissive uniform color. So what you can do is click this little black bar, because it's going to be black by default. And if I click in here and choose a color, you're going to see as I choose a brighter red, the emissive is going to get brighter. As I start going towards black, it's going to start turning off. So black is off, no emissive. If I crank this up to like halfway, it's going to be kind of a not so bright red. And then if I crank this all the way up, it's going to be a very, very bright red. Of course, I can cycle through here too, so I can actually be, even though my eyeball base color is red, it's going to be emissive, say baby blue. So it'll kind of override your color, so be careful of that. But we'll go ahead and make it red. And again, if you want to make it not so bright, you can kind of do this slider. If you want to make it more white, or less saturated, I should say, I can start dragging it over to this side, and this is gray. But we'll go about halfway up. So there's our emissive eyes. So now if I hold down Shift and right click and go to our shadows, you're going to see everything else is in shadow, and our emissive eyes are kind of lit up. They're self-illuminating. So now we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my shadows. And we have added an emissive channel. So if I click in here, you're going to see I can actually go to my emissive channel here, and I can, play around with the opacity, the blending mode if I'd like, as well as if I hit C, as I'm cycling through, here's my roughness, here's my metallic, here's my base color, height, and here's my emissive. So right here where I have this enabled, turned on, and it's assigned just to the eyeballs, I now have an emissive channel I can check out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit M and get my material shaded, and I'm going to shift right click and bring my image back around to kind of light my object.